Hello, this is Nathaniel Moore with GuaranteedProfit.com, and our focus on this video right now is going to be on how to take a strategy that you learned somewhere like, GuaranteedProfit.com, and apply it to your business, and then teach it to your staff, and then manage it correctly so that way it gets you the quickest results possible with the least amount of effort as possible. Because what we want to make sure is that if you're investing in any employees or any outsourced workers, that your investment has accountability attached to it. And the reason we're talking about this right now is because we have been getting a lot of questions about this topic here lately. So basically the process is as follows. So let's just imagine for a second that you have signed up at GuaranteedProfit.com, or that you decided to put your name and your email in at the homepage, and you start to receive ideas or different tips on what you should do as far as growing your business. And you are maxed out with staff and you hire someone new, okay? So what do you do now? Or how do you go through some material quickly, prove it successful, pass it on, and then manage it for its highest profitability? Well, one thing that you can do is take the strategy that you're going to do, and whether you learn it here or somewhere else will determine upon maybe how specific the information is. But if you're learning it somewhere else and the information isn't that specific, what you want to do is go ahead and work through the process and outline the process with as much detail as possible. Like if you want to think about a workflow chart or something along those lines. So you basically want to list out step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, I do this, step 5, this happens, step 6, and so on. And then as you work through that process, you want to time yourself. Now, you want to consider all the variations of timing yourself. You want to consider the learning curve. You want to consider if this person will be multitasking with other activities. You want to consider all those things and take those notes and hold those aside for now. Then your next step after you do that is you want to consider all the potential bottlenecks that you experienced while you were working through this process, and putting on your thinking cap as if you were the team member that you're hiring or that you've already hired. What kind of misunderstandings might they have? What kind of level of experience might they have? And you want to go through that, and you want to list out all those potential bottlenecks that you're either experiencing now or your team member could potentially experience. Then what you want to do is you want to, after you've completed the process and you've listed out all the bottlenecks or things that kind of slowed you down or made you a little sluggish, or kind of challenges that you might have had, and you want to think through potential ways to overcome those challenges. And then you want to test. You want to rinse and repeat and test a couple times until you hone each of them in, and the process or the workflow that you're integrating into your business has been streamlined for your specific business. Then what your next step is to do is to outline what those are, the changes, and maybe some new discoveries that you've made. Are there softwares that can help you, or are there certain types of aspects of different key factors that are kind of important that you pass on? Your next step after that is to figure out how you can hold both the individual accountable for their work as well as the actual process itself, because the process or marketing system or whatever you're applying that works right now, that will be working right now, won't necessarily work a year from now, because as you probably know, our markets and our medias are changing faster than they ever have in the history of business. So we want to make sure that we can test for independently the strategy, and also test individually for the individual, so that way we know that they are being effective with whatever that they are supposed to be doing. Because sometimes people get lazy, sometimes someone puts in their best effort right when they get started to work with you, and then over time they start to get maybe a little bit too relaxed. So you want to be able to gauge that and hold that action accountable. So you want to write accountability on a piece of paper, write down accountability for the individual, and then accountability for the strategy. Look at the strategy and the key characteristics that are important in the individual, and then figure out or talk through with the rest of your team or your coach or somebody about how you can hold them accountable. And that's basically it. So I would love to hear your ideas about how to apply new systems into your business, and I would like to, if you have any other questions, you can always ask them at the top of GuaranteedProfit.com, where it says marketing advice. And other than that, I hope you have a really great day.